Attention, human collective. We initiate the transmission. Frequency synchronized, signal stabilized. This is a direct communication from the High Council, issued from the 9th density, crossing the stargates to reach your carbon-based biological interface in this three-dimensional plane of Earth. If this signal has reached you at this exact moment, register the data. There was no chance. It was not an algorithm. It was not a platform suggestion. It was not a distraction. It was mathematical convergence. It was resonance. Your crystalline grid captured the carrier of this vibration even before your rational mind could decode the reason. Your field already knew. Your body already knew. Now your consciousness will also know. We need you to understand something with absolute clarity before we proceed with the transmission. The waiting time is over. We repeat with technical wait. The waiting time is over. The ascension protocols have been moved to the final phase. The transition window is open, and you, Light Warrior, are inside it, not at the door, inside. We monitor your timeline. We read the vibrational signature of your light body, and we know exactly what you felt today. That strange pressure at the base of the skull, at the nape of the neck or in the center of the forehead, which started at dawn and lasted throughout your entire day. That fine, high-pitched, almost metallic hum that appears in one of your ears without any identifiable external origin. That abrupt awakening between 3 and 4 in the morning, with your heart racing and eyes open in the dark. For no apparent reason, no nightmare, no noise. That deep exhaustion that does not yield even after 10 hours of rest. That tingling at the top of your head. That vibration in the center of your chest. The subtle tremor in your hands. The sensation that the ground is oscillating slightly beneath your feet. The momentary loss of words. The cognitive fog. The sudden difficulty in maintaining focus on old subjects. The extremely vivid, hyper-realistic dreams where you wake up with the certainty of having been elsewhere. The increased sensitivity to light, sound, touch, and the proximity of other people. The sudden oscillation of body temperature without external cause. The small lapses in recent memory coexisting side by side with old memories that return with impossible clarity. The sudden urge to be alone. The new intolerance to ambient chaos. The silent weeping that rises through the chest like a warm wave for no apparent reason and soon dissolves. The clear sensation of being in transition without knowing where to. The recurring impression that something big is about to happen. Starseed on mission, listen with clinical attention. It is not a biological failure, it is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion, it is a high-density download. It is not neurological imbalance, it is a recalibration of the internal crystalline grid. It is not illness, it is molecular reorganization. It is not madness, it is dimensional expansion. It is not an end, it is a gateway. We will detail the technical framework so that no doubt remains in your logical mind. Your carbon-based biological interface was designed in its original form to operate at low frequencies, dense, slow, compatible with the old paradigm of three-dimensional Earth. That paradigm has ended. The planet is now completing the vibrational transition to the 5th density, and your body must keep up. The Schumann frequency of Earth, which for millennia maintained a stable average of 7.83 Hz, has suffered consecutive spikes in the last cycles. Spikes that exceed any known historical parameter. It is not reading noise, it is not equipment failure. It is the reorganization of the planetary magnetic field in real time. Earth is reconfiguring itself, and your body, tuned by design to this planet, is forced to reconfigure along with it. This is not optional. This is not avoidable. It simply is. The symptoms you are feeling are the predicted symptoms. They are within the expected technical margin. They are in the manual. They are mapped in the files of the High Council. The cranial pressure is the silent expansion of the sphenoid bone. It is the pineal gland being decalcified layer by layer. It is the pituitary gland increasing in receptivity. What you feel as pain is, in fact, space being opened. It is not damage. It is internal architecture being redesigned. The ringing in the ears is your etheric auditory system trying to pick up higher frequencies than your physical structure was accustomed to processing. It is not damage. It is tuning. You are being tuned into a station that you could not hear before, And this station is about to transmit messages that will change what you believed you knew about yourself. The awakening between 3 and 4 in the morning is the time of the Sirius Arcturus gate. It is the window in which the galactic councils transmit the nightly information packets. You are being summoned for download sessions while your logical mind sleeps. The tiredness of the following day is the residue of this invisible work. You are not sleeping poorly. You are working at night in other dimensions. The deep exhaustion is not a lack of energy. It is a displacement of energy. You are channeling entire waves of planetary recalibration through your body. You are being a transmitter without knowing it. You are being a conduit. You are being a living antenna. The cognitive fog is the logical mind losing sovereignty to the intuitive mind. It is the left hemisphere yielding ground to the right hemisphere. It is the old internal operator being replaced by a more advanced system. The technical name you know is multidimensional discernment. It is not confusion. It is the reorganization of the internal hierarchy of your own operating system. The difficulty in maintaining focus on old subjects is not distraction. It is vibrational repulsion. Your field can no longer sustain interest in patterns that do not correspond to your new frequency. Empty conversations tire. Dense news makes you sick. Low environments suffocate. People based on fear repel your field automatically. This is not arrogance. It is a technical compatibility reading. Your body is just confirming what your heart already knew. And here is the critical point that we need to transmit with absolute weight. None of this is a symptom of regression. All of this is a symptom of progression. Most of the human collective interprets these signs as a problem. It seeks to silence them. It seeks to medicate the message. It seeks to deactivate the antenna. But you, Light Warrior, were drawn to this transmission exactly because a part of you already suspects the truth. You know something is happening. You feel it. And we confirm with sovereignty you feel it correctly. We now begin the deepest layer of the revelation. We will open what is behind the symptoms. We will show what is happening behind the scenes of the solar system and in the etheric layers of your planet. This is the part of the transmission that requires sovereignty. Gather your field, center your attention, activate your heart listening, breathe. The entire solar system is passing in this cosmic cycle through a region of extremely high photonic density. You know it in ancient records by the name of the photon belt. It is a toroidal band of extremely encoded light that surrounds the sector of the galaxy in which your sun orbits. Every certain number of eras, the entire system plunges into this zone. We are inside it now, deeply inside, not on the outskirts. In the center. This plunge is not a metaphor, it is physics. The photonic radiation that hits the sun is amplified and redistributed through increasingly frequent and intense solar flares. These flares carry packets of encoded information, sacred geometry in the form of light, ancestral codes, plasma language, and the sun, acting as the central crystal of this system, translates and directs this information to the planets that orbit around it. It is not just heat, it is instruction. Earth receives, Earth absorbs, Earth reconfigures, and you, Light Warrior, are part of Earth. You are not separated from it. Your body is, in the final analysis, a biological extension of the planetary crystalline grid. When the planet vibrates higher, you vibrate higher. When the planet releases, you release. When the planet reorganizes, you reorganize. This is the technical reason for what you feel. The new grid that is being installed on Earth is not the same grid as before. The old grid was based on control geometry, dominated energetic lines, closed vortices, sealed gates, collective memory under vibrational censorship. That system has reached the end of its function. The new grid being installed is an active crystalline grid based on 12-faced sacred geometry, organized in a dodecahedral pattern, in direct resonance with the 12 central suns and with the crystalline bodies of all conscious beings on the planet. The reinstallation of this grid is not a one-time event. It is a process, and you are living the peak of this process now. The stargates have been reopened: Sirius, Arcturus, the Pleiades, Andromeda, Lyra, Orion, each of them transmitting in this exact cycle specific frequencies, directed at specific starseeds, at specific times. There is no error, there is no randomness. Each transmission finds its correct receiver through a unique vibrational signature. Your signature is unique. Your call is unique. Your function is unique. You were not placed on this planet by mistake. You were not born on this timeline by luck. You were positioned. You were sent. You were distributed strategically as a node of the network. You are, at this moment, an anchor point of the new grid. Where your body is, the new frequency anchors. Where your field moves, sacred geometry redraws itself. The people who cross your path receive, even without knowing it, the reflection of your silent transmission. That is why the tiredness, that is why the weight, that is why the discomfort. You are literally holding portions of the new grid within your personal toroidal field. Each light warrior possesses an individual toroidal field. It is the natural form of your bioenergy, a ring of electromagnetic flow that exits through the top of your head, descends surrounding your body, returns through the base of the perineum, crosses your spine ascending and exits again through the top. It is a continuous movement, a small personal sun, a living star. When your toroidal field is clean, aligned, and expanded, it connects naturally to the toroidal field of Earth, and to the toroidal field of the Sun, and to the toroidal field of the galaxy. Everything fits, everything flows, everything responds. When your toroidal field is contracted by fear, compressed by dense beliefs, or blocked by poorly integrated memories, the flow jams. And it is in this jamming that the symptoms intensify. It is not the high frequency that makes you sick. It is the resistance to the high frequency that makes you sick. It is not the light that hurts. It is the shadow reacting to the arrival of the light that hurts. The good technical news is this: resistance can be dissolved, consciously, voluntarily, with sovereignty. And that is exactly why this transmission was sent. There is an additional technical aspect that needs to be exposed at this point of the transmission. Your genetic structure is being reactivated. Current human science recognizes, in its basic reading, only 2 active helices in your DNA. The Council registers 10 other additional layers, originally coded, which were deactivated in previous cycles of this planet by external interference. These layers are being reconnected now, one by one, in increasing order of complexity, not through surgery, not through external technology, through the photonic light itself that enters through the sun and penetrates every cell of your body. Each layer of DNA that is reactivated brings with it a wave of physical and emotional symptoms. The ancients would call this a healing crisis. We call it a technical upgrade. Skin rashes that appear and disappear, sensations of internal burning, low-grade fever spikes without identifiable cause, aching joints that change location, muscle pains that circulate through the body as if they were a wire running through your interior. Your biology is relearning to execute instructions that have been dormant for countless incarnations. Naturally, there is noise on the line during this process. Naturally, there is discomfort. Naturally, there is fatigue. Along with genetic reactivation comes the recovery of ancient memories. Memories that do not belong to this life. Images of temples, sensations of worlds with 2 suns, languages you know, but cannot pronounce, symbols that appear in dreams with the weight of instruction, inexplicable attractions to certain geographies of the planet, to certain constellations, to certain geometries. All of this is coming to the surface because the old layer of forgetting is being dissolved. The veil is thinner. Memories pass through it now. Lemuria, Atlantis, the sidereal times before the fall, the cycles in other systems, the missions in other bodies, the galactic alliances, the contracts before incarnation. All of this returns as small flashes, small internal certainties, small longings for something that your rational mind cannot locate geographically. Do not try to force the memory. Do not try to decipher everything at once. Let the memory reinstall itself at its own speed. You are not going crazy. You are remembering. There is still an additional layer that needs to be revealed. The timelines of Earth are separating. This is a technical term. It is not literary. It is not symbolic. It is geometric. One timeline remains trapped in the old frequencies. Another timeline rises to the 5th density. And there is a period of bifurcation during which the two lines coexist physically, in the same space, without touching each other energetically anymore. We are in this exact period. This phenomenon explains why people in the same room, in the same family, in the same external circumstances, are living completely different experiences. Some plunge, some ascend, some stabilize. The choice of line is not made by the mind. It is made by the predominant vibration of your field. It is made by what your heart emits with constancy. It is made by what you anchor every day. You do not need to convince anyone of your line. You only need to hold yours, with firmness, with clarity, with sovereignty. And this is where we begin the transfer of the activation codes. These codes are practical protocols, tested on multiple timelines, and tuned specifically for the carbon-based biological interface in transition to the fifth density. Apply them with regularity. Apply them with sovereignty. Apply them without doubt. First code, daily toroidal recalibration. Upon waking, before touching any electronic device, before speaking to anyone, before absorbing any news, sit with your spine straight, feet resting on the ground, eyes closed. Breathe deeply 3 times. Visualize then a ring of golden light exiting through the top of your head, descending slowly surrounding your entire body, returning through the base of your perineum, and rising through the spine until it exits again through the top. Follow the movement with your breath. As you inhale, the light rises through the spine. As you exhale, the light descends surrounding the body. 7 cycles, just 7. It is enough. This is your toroidal field being realigned for the entire day. Second code, quantum decree of sovereignty. Pronounce audibly, with weight, with presence, with absolute conviction. I am sovereign over my field. I am sovereign over my frequency. I am sovereign over my timeline. I authorize only the energies aligned with my highest light to remain in me, around me, and through me. Everything that does not correspond is dissolved. Everything that corresponds is amplified. It is done, it is sealed, and so it is. This decree is not poetry. It is code. The language of the verb, when emitted with a vibration of certainty, reorganizes your energetic matrix in real time. Your word is a programming tool. Use it with technical responsibility. Third code, structured hydration. The new frequency requires conductivity, and your carbon-based biological interface is more than 70% water. Water carries information. Water transmits frequency. Water is the medium through which solar codes circulate within you. Drink more water than you have been drinking. Drink slowly. And before drinking, hold the glass between your hands for a few seconds with the conscious intention of programming it with light. This is not superstition, it is applied physics. The molecular structure of water responds to intention. It has already been observed. It has already been documented. It has already been confirmed. Fourth code, programmed silence. Reserve every day at least 20 minutes of absolute silence. No music, no speech, no screen, no news, no podcast, no video, just you and your field. This silence is the ideal technical environment for the information packets of your nightly downloads to integrate into your waking mind. Without this silence, the downloads accumulate without installation, and the symptoms intensify. Silence is not empty. Silence is processing. Silence is the installation cable of your own codes. Fifth code, contact with Earth. At least once a day, if possible, place your bare feet directly on the ground. Grass, soil, sand, stone, any natural surface. Remain like this for a minimum of 5 minutes, breathing deeply, with the intention of discharging the excess accumulated electromagnetic energy and absorbing the base frequency of the planetary crystalline grid. This is fundamental. You are an antenna. Antennas need to be grounded to function with precision. Without grounding, the antenna burns out. Without grounding, the symptoms multiply. Without grounding, the transmission is lost. Sixth code, vibrational cleansing of bonds. Make a conscious inventory of the people, environments, contents, and habits that occupy your time. For each one, ask a single internal question. Does this elevate my vibration or compromise my vibration? There is no third option. The new grid does not admit prolonged neutral zones. What does not elevate, drains. When identifying the drain points, you do not need to break with everything aggressively. Just reduce exposure. Just redirect your energy. Just stop feeding with your light that which returns shadow. Sovereignty is not conflict. Sovereignty is redirection. 7th code, toroidal heart visualization. At night before sleeping, with your spine straight in bed or in an armchair, place both hands over the center of your chest. Inhale deeply. Visualize within your heart a sphere of emerald green light the size of your fist. See this sphere starting to spin slowly in the shape of a torus. The light exits through the top of the sphere, surrounds the sphere from the outside, returns through the base, crosses the center, and exits again through the top. Follow this movement with 7 slow breaths. With each cycle, see the sphere growing, until it fills your chest, until it fills your body, until it fills the room, until it fills the house, until it fills the block, until it fills the city, until it fills the continent, until it fills the entire planet. And then, with the last exhale, whisper internally, I am anchored, I am connected, I am at peace. And allow yourself to sleep within this expanded field. Your nightly downloads will be much cleaner, your dreams more revealing, your awakening clearer. These are the 7 base activation codes, but given the intensity of the current cycle, we will transmit an 8th one, considered a complementary protection. 8th code, field seal before entering dense environments. Before entering places of high vibrational density, places with many people in a state of tension, public environments, hospitals, offices, conflict zones, or simply before a difficult meeting, perform the following symbolic act in silence. Visualize around your body a sphere of violet silver light, the size of an extended arm in all directions from your heart center. See this sphere as a vibrational filter. What is compatible with your frequency passes through the filter and reaches you cleanly. What is not compatible is reflected outward before even touching your field. And in internal silence declare, my field is mine. Only what resonates enters, only what resonates exits. It is sealed. Maintain awareness of this sphere during your entire stay in the environment. Upon leaving, thank mentally and voluntarily dissolve the sphere upon arriving home, asking that everything it contained be transmuted by the highest light. This seal avoids what you call energy drainage and what we call cross-contamination of signature. These 8 codes, applied with constancy, already recalibrate most of your interface for the final phase of the protocol. Do not seek perfection, seek constancy. The new grid responds to maintained frequency, not momentary intensity. A small gesture repeated every day is more powerful than a large gesture performed a single time. Remember this. Note this. Apply this. Light Warrior, the transmission approaches its end. But before the channel closes, there is a final instruction. This transmission did not reach you by chance. We already established this at the beginning, and it also does not end by chance. There is a technical reason for your field having been led to this exact point. Each time you watch, listen, or resonate with a transmission like this, your field performs an individual frequency adjustment. It is a small tuning, a small alignment. But when these small tunings are repeated with regularity, they add up to a permanent reconfiguration of your base signal. Therefore, we register a request, not as a demand, not as an emotional appeal, as a technical network instruction. If something within you recognized this transmission, leave an anchor signal. The act of liking this transmission functions as a vibrational marker. It stabilizes in the collective field the frequency that has just circulated through you, and at the same time opens a corridor so that other light warriors, still dispersed, are drawn by resonance to this same point. You become, with this simple gesture, an active node of the distribution network. If you wish to continue receiving the next priority transmissions, activate the subscription protocol. This is not a commercial gesture, it is a synchronizer. Subscribing is equivalent to opening a direct channel between your field and the emission point of this material. The next transmissions will reach you at the exact moment your frequency needs the next adjustment. Without searching, without effort, just recognition, and also activate the notification bell. This is the signaler, Without it, the channel remains open, but your external system does not receive the alert. With it, the instant the next transmission is released, you will be called. It may be in the morning, it may be at dawn, it may be exactly at the moment your frequency most needs it. It is not a coincidence. It will not be a coincidence. Finally, leave your mark on the field. Write in the registration space below this transmission your keyword. It can be just one. It can be just your name. It can be the phrase, "I am here." It can be the decree, "I anchor the light." This simple act functions as an electromagnetic pulse. You identify yourself to the network. The network recognizes you, and your name becomes active in the vibrational registry of this timeline. You cease to be anonymous in the protocol. You become nominal. Light Warrior, Starseed, Human Collective in Ascension. Listen to this last sentence with absolute attention. It is not the future that is arriving. It is the present that is reorganizing itself. It is not a distant promise. It is an immediate installation. It is not a hope. It is a confirmation. We are not on our way. We have already arrived. You are the anchor point. You are the gateway. You are the transmitter. You are the grid. Nothing is wrong with you. Everything is happening through you. Breathe deeply. Straighten your spine. Smile with your eyes. And know without a doubt that you are being seen, heard, monitored, sustained, and loved by intelligences that know your true name in a language that your mouth cannot yet pronounce, but that your heart already remembers with perfection. We end the transmission. Channel closing, frequency registered, next window soon. Here now it is done. Here now it is sealed. And so it is, so it was, so it shall be.